nice fullness there. Just reach your thumbs toward the opposite wall as you draw your baby fingers toward your head. Now just let the left hand hang down and keep on reaching over, and just do any variation. If the lifted arm doesn't feel so good, just place it on your head or even drop it down. But we're really looking to get a stretch, and with the elbow lifted, that really helps out. Press down, press the left hand to the IT band and just go a little bit deeper in your pose. And inhale, rise up. And you should feel much more length on the side body. And when you get that length on the side body, of course, you get the length, that feeling of elongation in the spine. So let's come to the top of your mat. And if you've got blocks, again, grab those blocks and place your hands to tall blocks. With your left foot centered, lift your right leg in the air. With the right leg lifted, bend your left knee. Just draw slowly down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend your knee. Draw down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale, rise up and release your foot down. Place both hands to your low back and rise up. Do you notice how that standing leg, oh my gosh, as you bend it and straighten it, you really start to feel it energetically, and you feel a little bit fatigue in that leg. So let's give it a rest as you place your hands to your blocks. And if you don't have blocks, just place your hands on a chair or something, some surface nearby, so that you can stand on one leg and you feel balanced. As you lift your lifted leg, the left leg, bend your right knee and draw down. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, bend your right knee, drop a little bit lower. The slower you go, the more you start to work the muscles, your gluteus there. Inhale, straighten the right leg. And one last time, bend your knee, go a little bit deeper there. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release your left foot to the earth. With the feet hip distance apart, place your hands right above your knees. And as you press your hands to your knees, lift your chest up and lift your chin. Exhale and draw from the waistline back, from your navel back. Inhale again, draw your heart forward. Exhale, get your spine to really move from those stretches, side to side stretches that we began with. You should be able to just move a little bit more freely with the length that you have in your spine. Now place your hands right at your low back. Hug your shoulder blades in, root down to rise up. Just take a nice wide stance now. Step wide. Place your hands right at your hip points. Bend your knees just slightly. And when we started by interlacing the fingers behind our back and press the knuckles to the low back. Now draw your elbows in with the knees slightly bent. Just draw your heart forward just a wee bit. So just as you, again, this attitude of gratitude that we're expressing by drawing down, see how you can just kind of soften nicely here. Yeah, draw down a little bit more. Now lift your interlaced fingers up a little bit, not straightening the arms, just a little bit off the low back. as you let your head relax, as you lift your interlaced fingers up, just come to a nice, easy flow of your breath. Place both hands to your low back, lift up, bend your knees, draw your elbows in, and lift fully all the way up. And we were down there a little bit, so if you feel a little dizzy, then just pause here and take your attention to your breath. And stay in your wide stance, nice stable wide stance, but turn your right toes out. Place your hands right back at the hip points like they were before. Bend your knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up to come to virabhadrasana 2. Look out over your extended right hand and just drop in a little bit lower in your pose. And the same thing that we've been doing, interlace your fingers behind your back again. So this is a nice shoulder opener. The more we can do this, bend your elbows, hug your elbows in, and any variation, if you want to just put your palms to your low back, if your shoulders aren't comfortable with this, that's fine too. So with your right knee bent, just take your heart down toward the inner right knee as you bow forward. We're not trying to lift our interlaced fingers up necessarily. I mean, that is one option if you want to go there, but we're just going to keep them on the low back for now. So that when we come up, we can help our pelvis by pressing the palms of the hands firmly to the low back and root down to lift yourself out of the pose. Nicely done. Release your hands and have your feet parallel. Place your hands again to your hip points. Turn your left toes toward the opposite wall. Just get strong and full. Like when you make an offering, when you have this attitude of gratitude, you want to just do it with this nice open heart, not, this slumpy shoulders here, just nice openness. And to improve that openness, we'll open our wings here. So we'll lift our arms just to open up nicely and just drop in just a little bit more. So as you drop in, the shoulder blades come in toward each other. You take your gaze out over your extended left hand. And as you're ready, interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your interlaced fingers to the low back and just draw your heart down. Again, even though the heart is softening down, you still have this nice openness about it. You just have this attitude of gratitude as you soften down. Now place both hands to your low back to press your pelvis down, to inhale and rise up out of your pose. Have your feet parallel. We've been here for a while, so let's just step your feet parallel but hip distance apart now. And as you come to the standing pose with feet hip distance apart, with the knees bent, just drop your pelvis down, lift your arms up, and take your hands really wide apart. So this nice openness of the chest just allows us, again, to offer more. Place your hands right in front of your heart. And with this nice openness here, let's work to get more length in the side body. So take your right elbow to the outside of your left leg, or just a turn just slightly here. If you want to come to the outside of the leg, go ahead, but not necessary. Inhale, rise up. The knees are bent, the feet stay hip distance apart, and draw the left elbow to the outer right knee or somewhere close by. And inhale back to center. And lift yourself all the way up. Release your hands. Pause. And as you pause, just close your eyes. Come to a nice ease in your in-breath and your out-breath. Nice softness. Just observe the flow of the breath. Have this remembrance of that person that you want to offer your practice to today. And breathe in and out really fully to make that offering. Now come on down to the mat to all fours. And in all fours position, just move the spine really easily first before we come down to lie on our belly. So as you come to all fours, on the in-breath, lift your chin. On the out-breath, draw from the navel back to the spine. And in-breath again, as you lift your chin and sit bones. And exhale breath as you draw from the navel back to the spine. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's go for a little bit more engagement. So reach your right leg out and in the air. Reach your left arm forward and in the air. Make a fist with your left hand. Bend your left elbow, bend your right knee, and draw them in toward each other. Inhale, reach your left arm out and reach your right leg out. Exhale, draw the left knee, the left elbow, the right knee in. One more time. Inhale, expand fully. Make this full offering. Exhale, draw in, with great intention. And now release your left hand and your right knee down. Place your hands a giant step forward and draw your pelvis back. Now you can be in full child's pose if you wish, or this puppy dog pose where your pelvis is elevated, but your head is releasing toward the floor. And of course, if the arms overhead don't work for you, then just modify. You can stack your hands, press your head to your stacked hands. Just do a pose that works for you. Because when you offer, you want to offer so completely that it feels like there's no obstruction. Your physical body is able to make that full offering. Inhale, lift yourself up, come back to all fours position. Reach your left leg straight back and in the air. Reach your right arm forward and in the air. Make a fist with your right hand. Bend your right elbow, bend your left knee. Draw them in toward each other. Inhale, reach straight out and expand nicely. Exhale, make a fist. Draw your left knee in, hug in. Inhale, reach out. One last time, make a fist, bend your elbow, hug in. And slowly release your right hand and your left knee down. And same thing, step a giant step forward with your hands. Draw your pelvis back and press your hands down fully while getting a nice lift in your shoulders. So the heart just kind of expresses through this great surrender. It expresses this offering that you're making. You breathe in deep. And you breathe out long. So now come to your belly, and on your belly, just press your hands down to the side so that the hands are palms down. And as you press your palms down, inhale, lift your feet up. So your forehead can be on the floor, or it can be on the block, or on a towel or something. But right now, we're not lifting the upper body as much as we're trying to tone the legs. So however you'd like to place your head, just have the upper body relax slightly as you lift up on the inhale, and exhale, you take the legs down. Now, you might have noticed that your cheeks, your gluteus there, got a little tight. So instead, put more weight on the baby toe side of your feet, right? Not the big toe side. Just press down to the baby toe side. And you'll feel like the ankles, the heels go a little bit wider when you do that. And that brings a little bit more spaciousness in your pelvis. So keep that internal spiral of the upper inner thighs. Inhale, lift your feet up. And exhale down. Again, internal spiral of the upper inner thighs by pressing your baby toe side of the feet down. Inhale. Lift your feet up and exhale. Now let's charge the upper body just a little bit. So inhale, lift your hands and your feet up. Lift your head up, and exhale, come on down. Inhale again, lift your hands, lift your feet, open your chest. And exhale down. And one more time. Inhale, the heart lifts, the hands reach back, the feet lift up. And exhale, come on down. Come to all fours position. And just in case you really move the spine a little bit too much there, or rather tighten the back muscles too much, I should say, lift your chin and exhale, lift your back body, and just stay there here for another cycle of the breath. And breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in. And breathe out. And again, draw the belly down, the sit bones up, the chin up. And exhale, get the back body to be really full here. Keep it lifted as you draw in. Get that fullness to the back body. And come on back to all fours position. So come to sit, and sit in any way that works nicely for you. Sit so that your feet are forward. And as your feet are forward, if you've got a strap, you can grab that strap. And let me just shift the angle just slightly here so that you can see a little bit more. And as you come to sit, have your feet in front of you, just have the strap here, so that you can take the strap around your feet. Now, if your strap is not available to you, no worries. Just have your hands right at your shins. But spread your toes there. And as you spread your toes, just get the legs to be really active. Align yourself really nicely. And widen your elbows and just kind of start to feel as you make this offering with that attitude of gratitude. See how you can, rather than just kind of slump over, just keep the heart lifted, but keep the heart moving forward as you press the backs of the legs firmly down. Now inhale and lift yourself up and remove the strap if you've got a strap on there, and bend your right knee, place your right foot firmly down. And keep the left leg as active as it was when you were doing that forward bend. The whole back of the leg stays solid on the mat. The toes stay spread and very alert. Now turn toward your bent leg. Place your right hand behind you. And if you've got a block, that will allow you to go a little bit deeper. If you're feeling like, oh, the belly's just a little bit fussy today, then don't go very deep in these twists. You just want to take a little easier you'll still be moving things around there, but you don't want to agitate it. So as you open your heart and draw your heart toward the side wall, it's just like a bonus here, but lift your left arm up if you wish, just so that you could get a little bit more length to the sides of the ribs that we started stretching out at the beginning of this practice. And bend your elbow, and either take your elbow down or take the hand back down. You'll still get a nice length, the feeling of length here as you come to this twist. So elongate by coming more forward on your sit bones. Lift the crown of the head up. Lift your chin up nicely. You just kind of turn toward the side wall. And now release out of the pose and straighten both legs. Right, let's come to the opposite side, and I'm just turning to get hopefully a better camera angle. We'll see about that, right? Bend your, keep both legs straight, and take your strap or your hands around the strap around the feet, or the hands right at the shins. And again, this slumping that you often see here, don't let that be your pose. See how you can keep as much length as possible. Keep your legs active. Make it feel like your kneecaps are giving you dimples, right above the knees. You have the knees so engaged. Place the heart, or the hands on the strap, or the hands on the shins, and reach your heart forward. So no slouching here. All the shoulder work that we were doing earlier, you still maintained a nice openness of the upper chest through that. Press the backs of the legs firmly down. Keep those kneecaps lifting. Reach your heart past your toes if you could. That's where the gaze is going. And inhale, lift yourself up, and keep your right leg as solid and engaged as it was in that pose, but take your left foot to the earth and just check it out for yourself. On twist, there's always one side that you can go a little bit deeper than the other. So if this is the side that you can really go deeper, then take your foot a little bit further from the outstretched leg. But if it feels like, oh, this is always my tight side, then just keep the foot in. So as you bend your knee and lift your chest nicely, and let's just turn so that the hand can now urge the leg to go in toward the midline of the stance, but the leg itself wants to go wide. So see if you can just keep a nice engagement of the hand and the leg as you twist. Now your straight leg is still doing its thing. It's maintaining a nice secure setting there to allow you to go a little bit deeper in your twist. So once you've found a spot that feels right, see, again, it's kind of a bonus here, but see if you can get the right side ribs to lengthen more just by lifting your right hand up. Good. And then take the right hand, it can be right where it was before, or maybe the elbow can plant itself. Just come to a form of the pose that works nicely for you as you twist toward the side wall. And again, you can enhance your twist even more by taking the hand behind you even closer to your pelvis, or taking that hand on a block. You'll just get so much more length and be slightly more forward on your sit bones, so the natural curves of your spine will just help you elongate the back muscles nicely. And of course, get those natural curves be enhanced. And come out of your twist to straighten your legs again. And now let's see, after lengthening both of these sides in the twist, let's see if you can go a little bit deeper. Take your strap around your feet if you've got it, or hold on to your legs. Some of you, I know, are so flexible in your hamstrings, you might even be able to grab your toes. So just kind of find out what works best for you. Expand and lift yourself. Widen your elbows as you reach your heart. Again, today we're just working on this attitude of gratitude. Just making this nice offering of your practice with such gratitude. Letting the heart just lead the way. And inhale, come back up and come to lie on your back. And as you lie on your back, bend your knees. So with your feet planted, you're lying on your back. Just close your eyes here for a moment. Let your breath just do its thing to breathe in fully through the nose. And as you breathe in fully through the nose, see how wide your ribs can get. And you'll feel how they're moving against your mat. And it kind of helps you calibrate this. And on the exhale breath, just kind of notice how you have a different sensation. Each in-breath just continues to help support the muscles in the back body, support the natural curves of the spine. You exhale long. One more. It's time where we're just observing how the breath is moving, how the ribs are moving against the mat. Now, keeping your feet firmly rooted into the earth, bend your elbows and press your elbows firmly to the earth. On the in-breath, lift your pelvis up away from the earth. And once again, we're just working on the upper chest area to keep it really full and bright. Exhale, take your pelvis to the right edge of your mat. So you're just kind of coming out of balance here, out of the midline of the mat. Take your pelvis on the mat. Lift your feet up off the mat and hug the feet in toward each other. Take your arms out in this nice wide T position with the palms facing up, and draw your knees over just a little bit to the side, to the left side, I should say. So with your inner knees touching, with your knees going over to the left side, keep the knees hugging in nicely. Inhale, hug the knees in, and especially that bottom leg to lift the top leg up to support and carry the top leg. And release your feet down. With your feet down, lift your pelvis up again. With your pelvis lifted up, draw your pelvis to the opposite side of the mat. Place it down. With the pelvis down, lift your feet up. Hug in, just as if you're trying to really squeeze the inner knees in toward each other. Now draw slightly to the right side. And when you do, like all this weight is on your right side of the pelvis here. The right side of your bottom, you're just able to massage the gluteus there. So don't let the knees come all the way to the floor. Actually, be active. Keep the knees hugging in. Keep the knees slightly elevated. Just twisting just slightly. Come back to the center position. Place your feet down. Lift your pelvis up. Swing the pelvis to the very center of the mat and then down. Just rediscover the natural curves of your spine. Bend your elbows. Press your elbows down. And as you press your elbows down, lift your pelvis up. Your feet stay hip distance apart. Your feet stay very engaged. You're pulling in from the heels to the heart as you lift your heart really high. Keep a nice fullness in the upper chest, a nice softness in your facial muscles, and slowly take your pelvis down to the mat. With your pelvis now on the mat, draw your right knee in toward your chest and just hug the right knee toward the outer right ribs. Now lift the right foot up so that the right shin bone is now vertical, but your thigh bone is moving toward horizontal. So the right foot is lifted, the right knee is bent. You're just drawing the knee in toward the outer right ribs Some of you can grab hold of the baby toe side of the foot and just urge it to draw down even more. So notice if you draw the right knee down more, what happens to the left hip? Well, it lifts up, right? So back off, don't draw down so much, so that as you extend your left leg, that left thigh isn't popping way up off the floor. Now, slowly bend your left knee so you can plant the foot nicely and release your right leg down. Just plant your right foot and pause. Notice that there's probably quite a difference that you feel between your right hip and the left. And keep that recognition of what's going on in the right hip and draw your left knee in. Just draw it way in. And with the left knee drawing way in. Have your left foot lift up. Keep your knee bent. Have your left shin now vertical. Left thigh more horizontal. Just draw the knee down. You can hold onto your shin, or some of you can grab hold of that outer baby toe side. I'm just going to notice how when you take the knee down, the left knee down, oh, surprise, the right hip just pops right up. So you have to find that balance so that the hip points stay in balance. And so as you straighten your right leg, you keep the balance there. You keep a nice engagement there without lifting that right hip too far. Now release now. Straighten your left leg. Keep your right leg straight. Come to Shavasana. Allow your legs and your arms to feel the full support of the earth. Today you made the offering of this practice with this attitude of gratitude. See what enhancement you can make to open the upper chest even more. So that as you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, that area of the upper chest expresses such an open-hearted attitude. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Very slowly bend your knees. Press your feet firmly down. On the next in-breath, reach your arms up and over your head. Roll to your side to come to fetal position. Use the strength of your arms, not much movement of the legs, to lift yourself up. And let's honor our yoga practice today. Place your hands right in front of your heart. Draw your breath in. May your heart lead the way as you express this attitude of gratitude today. Namaste.